Hello gamers and future friends, I'm Blarglefarg and I'm here to play and review games that you most likely haven't heard of or have never played. On today's video, I will be reviewing Lila's Sky Arc. Lila's Sky Arc is an adventure pixelated game where you are a little girl who gets out of bed and immediately sets off on her adventure to take down newcomers. These newcomers are a drummer, an orchestra, a pianist, and lastly, the final conductor. It took me roughly 4 hours to beat the final boss, with there never being a dull moment in the game. Story-wise, I couldn't really follow the story arc of Lila's Sky Arc. I just remember waking up, being confronted by this machine guy who was like, bro, there's bad guys to the east. So I would go east and then there would be a monkey that's like, bro, there's bad guys, so kill them. So I would go and defeat the boss and he was like, thanks. I would then do this exact same task, but instead you would either be an elephant with a bunch of dad jokes, or a bird which was happy that I wasn't the elephant, or lastly a rabbit that was the only one who actually lifted a finger to help me take down the ship. Once you find these random 4 creatures and defeat the bosses, the game ends. There are various letters lying around that will explain the story, however after a few of them, I sort of lost interest and stopped reading. Combat-wise, I've actually never played a game with this form of combat. You have to run around and pick things up and throw them at enemies. There are various items that perform various actions that you can throw at enemies, such as a bomb, rubber duckies that branch out into multiple bombs, a tree branch that shoots out, but the majority of materials you will be throwing are these sort of vase-looking things that just lie around. What was frustrating at first was that these vases are your primary source of currency, so I would destroy them to collect money to come, and then later I would come across an enemy and I wouldn't have anything to throw at them. But once I found out that this problem sort of existed, I managed to rationalize material for it to not be a problem any further. Enemies and boss fights, there are plenty of enemies in the world. You have Tree Guy who launches a branch at you, random purple looking ghost things, people with instruments that perform different attacks depending on what instrument they have, many various others that provide for further enjoyment of the world that these developers have built. Boss fights were adapted perfectly to the new combat system of pick something up and throw it at it. The orchestra had these vending machines next to them that allowed you to walk up and gather items from it. During the pianist fight, you would have to step on the piano keys for items to drop down from the sky, and the conductor would spawn enemies that would drop items once they died. I do apologize, I forgot to hit record during the drummer fight, but I think it worked out, as in my opinion, this was the coolest boss fight visually, so no spoilers. Also, no idea what to make of it, but there is a random cat fight that comes out of absolutely nowhere and doesn't pertain to any character or storyline or anything. But it was cool and clever fight, so I'm not complaining. In terms of exploration, depending on your definition of exploration really determines if exploration in this game is good or bad. I had fun walking around is the best way I can explain it. There were a variety of NPCs to talk to and interact with, however, very few of them had any sort of request for help. It was mainly just like, hey, I can talk to you, and you can talk to me, sweet. Only ones I can remember are this dung beetle who asked me to bring his lazy workers back to him. Other than that, I really don't remember helping anyone else, which isn't a good or bad thing, just how the game is. There were a variety of collectibles, such as gifts, which are only glasses you can put on the robot you met at the beginning, or letters from different people that are also extra flower petals, which are your health. You are very limited with where you can go and when you can go there. So nothing ever seems like you found this on your own, more like you found it when you were required to find it when the time was right. So exploration exists, but you are most likely on the same path as all other players who have played this game. As far as visuals go, I'm a sucker for pixelated games. It's always shocking when someone turns something that's meant to be the lowest form of graphics into something amazing. I won't say this game tops them all, but it definitely isn't the worst. As far as character upgrades go, after the first boss you were able to lift larger things where you were able to move obstacles out of the way. Second, you are given a jump ability allowing you to jump over gaps in the terrain. Lastly, you get this cool scary looking ability where I don't know what exactly it does, but it seems like you scare these statues out of their current position, and it also adds as a light source to pass through dark areas. In the end, I enjoyed my time with Lila Skyark and it was a good 4 hours spent. I recommend it to everyone as it is playable on the Steam Deck and is a great game for one of those nights you are looking to play a game that doesn't ask for hours of commitment to make any progress. Just a nice, chill game. And that does it here, gamers and future friends. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great day.